One of the things that they don't talk about a lot in your healing journey is the moment that you realize that your nervous system has been rewired. The moment you realize that you haven't had a anxious thought in over several days. It's the moment you realize that I'm breathing and I'm taking nice big breaths. They don't talk a lot about that in the healing journey, and I find that to be a little bit strange. But then again, if it's not recognized, then how can it be talked about, right? Or how can someone have the words to articulate how they feel in that aspect to understand what it is? And that's one of the things that I've been recognizing in myself as I go on my journey, which I have arrived, as I go on my journey of self discovery and healing and restoration of my mind, body, and spirit. And I find that pattern recognition was something that was such a useful tool in my arsenal because recognizing patterns in yourself that does not attribute to where you see yourself in the future is something that is invaluable in the healing journey because for many years I had severe anxiety and PTSD. And as I worked through the gutters of the feelings and emotions and the ickiness of confronting oneself, placing blame where blame needs to be placed, I did see that giving myself grace was something I never did. I had it in spades for other people, but I never gave myself grace in terms of my healing journey and recognizing the patterns where I would be harder on myself, which would increase my anxiety, increase my depression, where perfectionism was something that ruled my life. And I'm not saying that um, I'm any means perfect because as humans we aren't, but I tried my utmost best to always do everything as precise and perfect as possible. And that put a lot of stress on me, especially during my academics and working full time in academia. So, pattern recognition was one of the tools that I recognized that I use so much in my healing. Where if I notice that I'm starting to do something that is out of character from my daily routine, such as waking up at 7 versus getting up at 5:30. Like, if I do that in a couple days in a row, like, my mind immediately alerts and it's just like, oh, what's going on? Why are we getting up at 7? This is not typical. We have schoolwork to do. We have to walk the dogs. You have to prepare the house and get everything ready for work. Why are we waking up at 7? You start work at 9. That's 2 hours too soon. So, um, recognizing those small habits that no longer serve the person who I am becoming now was the quickest way that I could change those habits and behaviors in order to be the woman I am today. And for everyone, not just for the girlies, but for everyone who's on their healing journey, whether they're healing from domestic violence, sexual abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, um, just look out for that when you start recognizing patterns that you want to change and when you start seeing the changes. um, it's a beautiful feeling. It also gives me more hope that me recognizing and implementing these changes within my life did create the outcome that I wanted. It did. I became more self assured, more grounded, regulated emotionally, physically. Um, and it all stems from me recognizing patterns in myself that no longer served me. And as I start to explore the new version of myself that I prayed for and that I received, um, it's a whole new ballgame, right? So you don't lose your desire to grow, but don't forget to celebrate accomplishing, reaching to that point where you set out to be, because small victories make up the bigger picture. And when you see the bigger picture, you'll realize how many small victories you had, but you didn't have the time or the insight to really consider them small wins. So if this reaches you and you watched it all the way till the end, well, good for you. And I hope to see you again.